Hey, what's going on? This is Russell Mari, and you are listening to Flourish, the unofficial Squarespace entrepreneur podcast, hosted by yours truly, founder of SQSPthemes.com, the number one source for entrepreneurs building a business on Squarespace. Today, we're going to be talking about how to attract clients online. This is something that comes up a lot when people first join the Squarespace Entrepreneur Facebook group. It's one of the questions that I ask, what is it that you're looking to get out of your website? And the number one response is getting more clients. And it just makes sense, right? You're making a website, especially if you're a service-based professional, because you want to attract prospective clients. You want to seem more attractive to those prospective clients. And so since this is something that I've spent a lot of time with, both for myself, with other people, and it's really how I've been able to make a living over the past 5 years, I want to dedicate at least a couple of episodes to this topic and really, really dig into it. Because I think you're going to get a lot of value out of this. So the whole premise of this episode is if I could go back 5 years, what advice would I give myself when I was just starting out? And to give you some context, I used to do videography and photography on the side. I worked full time as an engineer, and I always got clients through referrals. That was, I didn't have to think about it. A friend would be like, hey, Omar, I've got someone who needs this or that or whatever. And clients would refer clients. And it was one of those things where it kind of like my portfolio would basically sell itself. So when I first created the website, it was really just for my portfolio because, that's how people could see my work and blah, blah, blah. But when my son was born, I decided, you know what, I'm going to kind of believe in myself. And I had this vision for this lifestyle that I wanted to lead. And it meant that I would have to leave my corporate job alone and go into my creative pursuits full time. And that also meant moving back home to another state. So I lost that referral network that I had. And pretty quickly, I realized that the internet was going to be how I was going to make my living. So the first thing that I learned, and I learned this from a random person on the internet, was that no one cares about you. And so if you've never heard that before, now I'm that random person on the internet giving you that advice. And really, when you're just starting out, like all you could think about is yourself, what you're doing, who you are, your business, and you think that people should care, but they don't. And the reason why is because especially since we're talking about attracting clients, what people really want is they want someone who's able to show up at the right time, and be that right person for the job. And so the way you do that is you have to be able to cultivate a particular kind of relationship with prospective clients ahead of time. So before they even need you or while they're in that kind of hiring process is a great time. But this is a public facing thing. And so it doesn't matter what medium you use. It doesn't matter what platform you're using or whatever. What matters is that you're able to position yourself as a friend, as a trusted advisor, as someone who is an authority on this problem that they need solved. And you do that through communicating in a certain way. So what's that certain way, Omari? Like, let's jump in. So the first key is being able to empathize with them, being able to understand, how they feel and identify with it, right? Is this something that you've gone through before? Can you relate? Being able to establish rapport around this problem and how it's affecting them. How is it affecting them outside of work? Do you know anyone who's had a similar problem before? Right? A lot of times we're going to communicate these things through stories. So being able to empathize through storytelling is going to be really key. The second key is being able to give them certainty. Can you guarantee that, like, hey, not only do I feel you, but I'm sure that there's a way out of this thing. And here's that confidence guarantee. Like, here, I have a solution and I'm certain about the the solution because it's worked for me or it's worked for someone else. And then the third key is helping them to justify their failures. So, when a prospective client is looking to hire, usually it means that they don't have the internal capabilities, or they've failed internally, or there's been some track record of failure or being stuck or being stagnant. And if you're able to come in and identify the why behind those failures, and help them to objectify and say, listen, I understand that this has been what's going on, you haven't been able to work out of it, but here's why. Because a lot of times we have no idea why we're stuck in the same loop, right? Why we're in this problem. So when someone can help us point it out, and help us kind of vindicate a little bit of that self-blame that we give ourselves, then we're more likely to trust them. And then the fourth key is helping them to alleviate their fears. So if you can help people sure, all right, think about this, right? The biggest fear before they hire you is that, like, if they don't hire someone or if they don't hire a team, things are going to get worse, right? So just knowing that that's their fear, helping to alleviate that by saying, like, if things continue the way they are, it's only going to get worse. But if we turn it around by doing X, Y, and Z, and X, Y, and Z, either that's your process, that's your particular way of solving this particular problem, you're helping to alleviate their fears. And then the fifth key is being able to make them feel good. We like people who make us feel better about ourselves. We like people who are able to kind of forecast and foreshadow a better version of ourselves to ourselves. And that type of thing makes us feel good. And so tomorrow, what we're going to do is I'm going to talk to you about how you can put all five of these keys, all five of these principles into play in your website, into a single page that you can use to generate more leads. And so these are prospective clients, people who would be interested in your service and interested in hiring you. So tomorrow we put some nuts and bolts around this, so to speak. And so in the meantime, sqspthemes.com/podcast. Go there, subscribe. What else? Subscribe, check out more episodes, and I'll catch you next time. All right, peace.